Hello and welcome to this session. Today, we will do something very different. Essential English grammar will resume from the next session. Today, we will just be having conversations, exchanges of ideas. So, we'll just be having talks with our learned participants. We will not be simulating conversations. We will just be having talks, experience sharing. So, let's go ahead and say hello to our learned participants. Here we go. There we are. Hello, Lekha.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. A winner as always. Full of energy and potential to do something great. And I look forward to endless successes in my life. And that is what makes me say with confidence that I am great and I have never been better before. What about you, Lekha? How are you?
I'm also good. I'm doing great and I'm healthy. I'm a healthy person and becoming a better person. And I'm also a winner. Just doing mimicry of your. And
And
that makes me say that I have never been better before.
okay, great to hear that, Lekha, but don't do mimicry. Just feel from inside that you have never been better before. And that feeling will really make you very positive and confident, right? It really showers a lot of happiness on you, even when the chips are down, even when you feel that things are not going your way. Just by saying that I'm great and things have never been better before changes the entire scenario for you, because what you feel is not great is simply some thought in your mind. And when you engineer that thought and make it a positive thought, then you actually begin to feel better. And that's what I suggest. And that's what you have been doing thus far in a very creditable way. And all your learned participants, all your learned co trainees have also been doing that with such great precision that my respect for each one of you grows by the day. Thank you, Lekha, for joining. Thank you for finding time out. And I hope we'll get to hear great stories from you today. Okay? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right, Seema, how are you?
Good evening, sir. I am great, sir. What about you, sir?
Oh, fantastico. Victorious as always, vanquishing all the evils, always ready to take on new challenges, learning new things. And I'm floating in the sky of success. And that's what makes me say with confidence that I have never been better before. How are you?
I am also doing great, sir. Like I actually nowadays I am trying to find out myself in real sense, or to know, or trying to know the reality of life through different kind of sources. Um, Maybe it would be any maybe like book and any other video resources, uh, or pictures as well. So I'm just trying uh, to do better myself in spiritual sense. So it makes me feel so better, and that's why I can say I have never been better before.
Okay, sounds good, but you should be speaking with more energy, which you always do, Seema. But never mind. I hope that next time I'll get to hear things in with a greater your being in a greater positive stupor, right? But no problem. What you have spoken is also great. Thank you, Seema, for joining. Thank you for finding time out for this class. Let's move on. Okay, Manisha. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Fantastic. A winner as always. Handsomest man in the universe, wisest in the universe, the most successful person on earth, and the healthiest person on earth, and the one who is going to touch the heights of success. And that's what makes me so happy, the happiest. And that's why I say, I have never been better before. How are you?
I'm also doing great. And first of all, I want to steal all the words that you have just said. I wish that I could acquire all those traits in me. And right now, we can see that winters are approaching and summers are still here. So weather is almost very nice all the day, and you feel the warmth of the sun, and you feel that chilly wind sometimes in the morning and in the evening. And I personally like this season very much, and because birds are there, flowers are there, and leaves are falling, so I'm experiencing this new change in the environment and this new change in me. And this new change in me because I'm learning so many things day by day. And there are festivals in India, and I love festivals because I love holidays. So yesterday only there was the Shera, and each and every festival in India has some significance. And so yes, and now Diwali is there, and so I'm very excited. And yes, I can say that I have never been better before because everything is so good.
Wonderful. Great to hear that, Manisha. That's very energetic, very positive. Great. Thank you for joining us, Manisha. And I hope that we get to hear great stories from you, just the way I and other participants expect uh, your co trainees and you to tell us great stories. I have a feeling that this exchange of ideas is really going to lead to something great. We will learn so much from one another, right? And your stories are always so wonderful. Fiction stories and the creative nonfiction stories. You make them sound so interesting. So I'm looking forward to your stories. Okay, going ahead. Nitesh, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you, sir?
Oh, absolutely great. This is the best moment of my life. I have learned from my mistakes and I have emerged victorious. I have risen like a phoenix from the ash to the firmament of success, and I am here to stay. I am here to stay as a winner, as someone who will have consummate command in his hands till eternity. And you see this fist? This is the power of fist, which will be powering me out and out till the very last moment of existence, which is never going to come. So I am going to be perennially happy, and that's what makes me say with confidence that I have never been better before. What about you, Nitesh?
As always, really great, awesome, enjoying life, learning so many things daily, and went to a trip to Punjab and there visited my relatives and saw the culture there, the people, how people live, the environment, and really enjoyed there. And after coming back, I am really missing that that experience, and it
Of
is
course.
really great.
Hmm.
And I have come back with a lot of positive energy, lot of energy. So life has become much better. And in office also, it was really great experience today. So I can say that I'm winning, I will win, and I'm feeling like I'm top of the world. So I can confidently say that I have never been better before.
Fantastic, Nitesh. So good to hear you. Right. Uh, as always, you have said things that are so full of energy, so full of new ideas. Thank you for finding time out today, Nitesh, and joining us. You are welcome. It's such a pleasure to be working with you. Thank you again for joining.
Thank
All
you, sir.
right. Okay. Moving on. Pallavi, how are you?
Sir, I'm fine, sir. How are you?
I am living the finest moment of my life, the happiest moment of my life. The most exhilarating feeling is in me right now, fueling me to do greater and still greater and even greater things in life. And step by step, I'm moving towards the pinnacle of glory, probably the seat that is meant for the champion of champions. And that is the seat I have reserved for myself because of great friends like you and because of the positive energy that is running in my veins. And all these beautiful factors that are making my life make me say with confidence that I have never been better before. How are you, Pallavi?
Yes, sir. I'm also good. I'm also like great. And after watching you and after hearing you, and your voice just give me so much confidence and happiness. Like I can't express it. Like the day before, before I was not well because I was suffering from cold, cough, fever. But after because of the long weekend, I have just recovered, and I'm feeling well now. I'm feeling great now. And yes, I'm learning new things daily and watching my friends and relatives learning learning and achieving new things in their life. It gives me pleasure, and it gives me a boost that I should have to achieve so much thing for my family and friends. And yes, and after seeing you and all my friends here, the energy I have regained it again. That was feeling like I have just lost it because of my health. But today I'm feeling very great, and yes, that's why I want to say that I have never been better before.
Wonderful. That's so great to hear. That's indeed wonderful to hear. And see, we are still away from the end of the course, and you are already speaking like a champ. Actually, that seat for the champion of champions is meant for you, and you will be there very soon, Pallavi. Great to see you
Thank
here.
you, sir.
Thank you for joining. I know it's not easy to find time after returning from the office, and you have still managed to join, and you are so devoted to the cause of improving your spoken English skills, which are already very good. Make no mistake, they're already very good. So I'm so happy to see you improve this way. So let's move on and work on today's agenda, which basically is telling stories, right? What kind of stories? Not stories made up by you, not fiction, not your, I don't want to see your skills at fiction today. I want to hear real stories, right? I would want you all to tell me stories from your life. What kind of stories? Well, today you have complete freedom. You can pick up any incident from your life. Make sure that you don't tell us something that is personal. No need for telling us stories that entail uh, personal issues. So please tell us a story that is possible for you to share with everyone and try to make it interesting. I'll be happy if you pick up an interesting event from your life. Any interesting event will do, but that should be a true incident. It can be from your childhood, it can be from your present scenario, from your office, it can be from your college days, it can be from your school days, it can be a discussion that you probably had with a learned man or a learned woman. It could be some journey somewhere, some kind of an excursion. It could be anything, or it could just be a thought. Whatever you want to share with us, you can share with us, but it should be a true incident. So I will not speak for the next 1 minute, and none of you will be speaking for the next 1 minute. After 1 minute, I'll start with you all, okay? And you will be telling us your stories, any story. You have this 1 minute to pick up any story from your life, any event from your life that you would want to share with everybody. And I'm sure the stories will be such that everybody would be able to get some takeaways, get some gains from your experiences. So for the next 1 minute, I shut my mouth up and you have time to think. Okay, time for the stories. Please make sure that you don't take more than 5 minutes, right? Don't make it too long. Try and wrap up the story within 5 minutes. Don't make it longer than that. So today we start with Seema. Seema, come up with any story of your life. Any story
Yes.
of your life. Go ahead. I'm giving you full screen. Exactly after 4 minutes, I'll come back to this view. There you are. Yes, Seema. Go.
Okay. Good evening, all. And if I would like to share my incident of my life, then I just want to share my struggling period of my studies and uh, how would I manage to continue my studies with the job, with the how with the family tasks and with the managing of all relationships. I don't say and matlab, it's not my intention to appreciate myself. I just want to share my views on that, how could I manage, so that anybody can, if I can do, then anybody can do, because many of the time we see that people are counting their hurdles in their life, and they just focus on the negative things, or the why they don't able to do things what they want to do. So I just, as sir said, that if somebody can take one or two words or one or two sentence from my incident, then it would be great for me. And so I just want to share, like, um, because as I have already told in earlier classes, like, my studies never stopped, and I just want to do it at any cost. I think I just did it because of my passion towards it. So I think when we have passion for something which we want to do, then we just focus on that work only, and we just try to find out ways to accomplish that work, not count on the hurdles, because it's a life, and we there is I think there is no place, or there is no stage for all of us when we can say that everything is okay in our life, and now I can do this, and we are doing this. I think we need to work, we need to work in the hard times or in the difficult times, and we just need to go on. If I am talking about myself, then I can say the passion I have towards my studies, and the love for my studies, because it just not I just don't want to do for any for any achieving post or the professional place at anywhere. It just because to love towards my studies only, which I think, and that's why I also I also like to thank my family, my parental family, and most thankful towards my in-laws family, because if they are not supporting, they were not supporting for me, then I am not able to do all these things. And their support, and I think my dedication, my passion towards my studies uh, uh, leads to me leads to me this situation where I can feel that I can do, I can able to continue uh, my dreams or my aspirations. So um, all thanks to my family and God, And I also like to say that I also feel some kind of force uh, who push me internally. I don't know what is this, but in very hard times I could able to continue my studies. Like, if I would like to share one of the incident of my B.Ed times. At that time, I was in school. I was teaching in school, and um, I was in my in-laws family. And the very next day, I have exam of my B.Ed course. And at that night, my father was so, I can say, he was deadly sick on that day, on that night. But I don't know. I just the I I am unable to explain, I think. But I just want to say the force which push me to do that you just do yours, you just read out your coursework, and the other persons are doing their tasks. Like my family members were taken my father to the hospital here and there. But I am reading at that night. I was reading at that night, and I just read and read again and again one single line. I just read and read. It was not grasped in one time, but I just doing it. And I thought that I just give my exam in 2-3 hours on the very next day, and after that I will uh, reach to my father. So I don't know which force pushed me uh, to do this thing in very hard times. And there was very many other situations when I have when I was in very difficult situation. But I could persuade my studies. So for all these things, I just really very thankful to God and my family. And I just want to say that if we want to do something in our life, we just need to be passionate with it, and we just do a selfless love, we can say, which we can get from our parents, like love. So I just want to share this thing. uh, Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Well, Seema, there is a saying. In fact, I recommend the book to each one of you. And you might have heard about this book. It's a very popular book, great book, and it can change the life of the reader. It has changed the lives of so many readers, and I recommend it to each one of you. Uh, the the book is a book that can really completely change your perspective towards life. And of course, the book's title is When the Going Gets Tough, the Tough Get Going by Harold Goldman. When the Going Gets Tough, the Tough Get Going by Harold Goldman. Right? So if you read this book, you will see how people have been able to do great things in life when they were in difficulty. So when the going gets tough, the tough get going. A brilliant book that each one of you must read. Why did I mention this book? Why have I mentioned this book now? Because Seema, it applies to you. Because when the chips were down, you managed to stay afloat, and you waited for the right opportunity. The challenges were right there before you. it would have been very easy for you to run away from those challenges. Sorry about the stuttering because it's happening because of the fatigue that I have. Would have been very easy for you to run away from those challenges, but you stayed put, and you just didn't stay put. You braved the challenges head on, and you managed to succeed. A great story, a lot of inspiration, right? So please read this book when you uh, get a chance. It's a very short book. You don't really have to. Um, you probably will get the Kindle version of it. So please read this book if you get a chance. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. All right. Now we move on to Nitesh. Nitesh, okay, you have some messages from your friends. I'll just read those messages. In fact, I'll wait for a few more messages. I would request all of you to send messages, please. So it's a great book that you should be reading, the one that I just recommended to you. A brilliant book. The author is Harold Goldman. Harold Goldman. Okay, so Nitesh, unmute
Hello, sir.
yourself. Yes, hello. Now, I would want you to tell us about a life experience that is memorable, not suggesting that you tell us something that is personal. Don't tell us personal stuff. All right, some messages still. I mean, wait for another couple of minutes. Messages are coming slow. That's why I thought probably I'll make you speak before that. But then messages are coming over now. So Nitesh writes, Seema, thank you for sharing your own personal experiences and challenges, how you faced the toughest challenges and came out victorious. You are a true inspiration, Seema. A brilliant thing to say, and completely agree with you, Nitesh. My team says courageous, victorious, undoubtedly a true inspiration for all of us. No doubt about that. Completely agree with my team as well. So, more messages will follow, Nitesh. I'll be reading these messages later. What I suggest is you go ahead and share your story. I'm giving you full screen. Try to finish it
Sure,
within
sir.
5 minutes. But if you have something more, another message has come. I'll just read it meanwhile. Another message from it's a message from Pallavi that says, "Really inspiring story, Seema. Beautiful smileys and lots of thumbs up." And then she says, "You are a fighter. The way you fought from all the bad circumstances was commendable. That's why you are such a great human being and great teacher as well." And a lot of beautiful smileys as well, and a lot of love from Pallavi, all for Seema. Now, if you are ready with your messages, you can send them. I'll read them out so that we can start out with Nitesh's speech. Nitesh's speech is going to be great as always, just the way Seema's speech was. So we are waiting for that as well. Not speech, really. I'm sorry. It's experience sharing, storytelling. Any other messages? Okay, fine. The moment I say, Nitesh, go ahead and tell us your story, a new message will come. Okay, a new message from Manisha. Manisha writes, Seema, I know you are a strong human from the day one, and today you just shared one incident only. I'm sure there are more in your life. You face such difficult situations with so much grace and calmness that makes me admire you even more. And then this typical and characteristic directorial sign from from Manisha. That's a beautiful thing that she sends. And thank you very much for the appreciation. Okay, now, Nitesh, you can go ahead and share your story with us.
Okay.
There you go. Say hello to me, Nitesh.
Hello, sir.
Yes, you are audible. Go ahead. Start.
Well, hello, everybody. Uh, today I'll share with you some, you may call a paranormal experience or something like that. You will know when I share it with you. Well, first I have to tell you that this is the incident of the time when I was around 7 or 8 years old. At that time, my father's posting was at Dhupguri BDO office block. So in the block office actually. So there we had there was a housing, government housing, and we used to live in government quarters. So there I had many friends who used to play with me, and it was a really great experience there. Also, I do remember that in the beginning it was really tough to live there because in the front of the video office there was a rail rail line, and the sound of train used to disturb too much while we used to sleep at night. But after living for a few days of it, we got used to it, so it was fine. The greenery was great there, and the air was fresh, and there was not much population there, so life was kind of, as we compare it with today's metro cities or any other city, it was little slow, but the experience was great. I vividly remember today a lot of experiences and incidents that I experienced at that time. So it is a small incident that happened. We had we are around 4 or 5 friends who used to play there. There were uh, small streets in between the housing complexes or the quarters, and we used to play with there. So there was my friend. Her name was Pratibha, and her father used to be a very sweet person. And but I don't know what happened. But in some incident, he died. Actually, I do remember that he committed suicide, and he was a driver actually. He used to drive car. So that car which was got into that accident was kept in front of a quarter there, and that quarter was not in use, so it was kept there. And nearby we used to play there. So when we knew about that this incident has happened, we used to think that the car is kind of like had some. We used to actually used to get afraid of the car because we thought it may contain some ghost or some spirit or something like that. So we used to stay away from there, and we used to play cricket there. So who used to hit the ball there? That person has to go and take the ball back. No person will go. So and that was the case. So we used to play there, and one day I and my younger brother and all my other friends were playing cricket, and my brother was batting at that time, and one of my friend was bowling. So my brother hit the ball so hard that it it directly went inside that car through the window. So so after that, nobody was ready to go there. My friend said that your brother should go. I said, okay, he will go. But I thought I should accompany him. So I went with him there, and we searched around the car, outside the car, everywhere. We didn't find the ball. Then we opened the door of the car and we checked inside. Inside also, we were unable to find the ball. And inside also, outside, nowhere. The ball was nowhere. So we checked the seat, back seat, the front seat, everywhere. There was no ball. And also, so where did the ball go? We also checked the uh, uh, area near the car, and there was a small drain there also. We checked there, there was no ball. So we thought, what has happened? Where did the ball go? Then we went back to our friends and said that the ball is gone. We are unable to find it. And the boy whose ball was there, he was getting really angry because what did you do with my ball? Where did I go? You have to pay for the ball. And so I thought, "Oh, what should we do?" Then we all together went again to the car and tried to find it. And to our pleasant surprise, the ball was just on the back seat. When we went to check the car, it was just right there on the back seat. And I remember clearly that few moments earlier, when we went there and checked, there was no ball there. How did that came there? And we were just really frightened and thought that how did that? Of course, nobody else was there ready to believe it that there was no ball there. But my brother and I both actually had seen that there was no ball there. But suddenly it came out of nowhere. And I thought, how did that happen? Even today, I think sometimes about it, how this may have happened. It may have stuck somewhere when you close the door or open the door, it may have fallen there or something. But there was no such place at that time. I do remember. There was no such place to stuck. The ball may stuck. So whatever that may happen, it was an experience. After that day, we changed our place of playing. We played in different lane there after that day. So it was a good experience, or kind of must say that strange experience. And it and many other such experience, paranormal experience had happened with me in Dhupguri. Also during the Kali Puja, we used to see some strange things happen. So there was an incident when we are going to watch the pandals, Kali Puja pandals, and in Dhupguri the Kali Puja is really great, very good, very nicely celebrated, and lot of the puja pandals of Kali Puja are made with great decoration and with great kind of creativity. So, and there is to be some shows and some kind of when you enter the puja pandal, it will be kind of really different experience, kind of sounds, kind of acting. The people used to act, and the experience was kind of very terrifying and horrifying experience when you enter the pandal. And it was really great to actually visit the puja pandals there in Kali Puja. You must have visited Durga Puja pandals, but Kali Puja is celebrated there with a lot of uh, uh, excitement and lot of vigor. So it is really great. If you want to see good Kali Puja pandals, you can visit actually Dhupguri area. And this is really great. So one day we were just returning back after visiting the puja pandals, and returning back, I saw something strange. Actually, it was I used to always during traveling to the market. There used to be all the puja pandals. Uh, in between there used to be my school, which we used to travel uh, crossing our school. So I used to always look at the school, what's there, and it is in night it was used to be closed, and there was no guard or something because there was nothing to actually uh, protect there. So it was a small town and nothing to much of this. So I used to see whenever I used to travel at night. That day I saw something strange. Uh, in the it was such a design of my school as such that from the outside on the road we can actually view what's happening in the playground that was inside the school. And so I saw something kind of very scary, something some may call like a ghost or something. It was moving at a very rapid pace and a human kind of figure, and it was like floating in the air. So I also asked my brother to see this, are you able to see that? What's there? And he also saw that, said, what is that? So, and we used to travel through a van, the cycling van. So, we used to move slow, so we were able to see it for a few moments. And I also thought that what is that? And then after that, I told my parents about it. They were not ready to believe it that what we saw. So there had been many such incidents. It may have been a kind of I may have imagined or something like that, but two people cannot imagine the same thing. Now. Only if I had experienced that, then it would have been something. So it's like that. So there have been a lot of experience, and these are a few of them.
Well, thank you, Nitesh. I didn't stop you. You kept on going, but I didn't stop you because the stories you narrated are so interesting, and in fact, you're giving me fodder for fiction. So, thank you for thank you for such beautiful stories. Uh, Lovely, as always. Great narration. Loved it. Like Seema, like Nitesh, great story. Okay. So, first, Seema, thanks all of you. Seema says, thank you so much for such a wonderful admiration, my all dear friends. And then she has given namaskar and a lot of love to all of you. Then my uh, with regard to, in the context of what Nitesh has said, my team says your first experience seems like a deja vu kind of experience, but it was nice to hear from you after such a long time. Thanks for sharing your paranormal experiences with us, Nitesh. Well, paranormal or events that can be explained, we are not sure, but whatever the interesting, the stories certainly um, are so interesting. Okay, now moving on from here. Thank you, Nitesh, for those beautiful stories. Lovely stories.
Thank you,
Of
sir.
course, frightening stories, but enjoyable stories. Okay. All right, Lekha. Lekha, can you put your camera on? Lekha.
Maybe Lekha is frightened. He doesn't like horror stories.
Not just Lekha. I was watching Pallavi and Manisha, okay, while you were narrating the stories. Pallavi and Manisha were like, my goodness, what is he saying? Okay, floating apparition, ball appearing suddenly in the rear seat of a haunted car. So they were giving all kinds of reactions, beautiful, cute reactions, of course. Lekha, my dear, Lekha, probably there is some technical issue on Lekha's side. Lekha is not um appearing on the camera, means there should be some issue. Okay, so we have to move on. Pallavi, next is your turn, right? Try and limit the story to 5 minutes. Any story of interest from your life, right? Not necessarily paranormal, any story. Okay, here you go. Okay, Pallavi, say hello to me. Okay, Manisha says something interesting about Nitesh. I'll just get back to, just 1 second. I'll get back to the gallery view. Okay. Manisha says, Nitesh, you were telling these events like these are normal for you. And here I'm scared to death. Okay. And the beautiful smiley after that. You have an amazing talent of storytelling. I cannot appreciate you enough for today's story. And again, a lovely smiley for you. Thank you, Manisha. Other messages as they keep coming, I'll be reading after Pallavi's story. Pallavi, go ahead. Share your experience with us.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Hello.
Actually,
Go ahead.
after hearing Hitesh story, I'm I'm just blank now. Like the story he was telling, we used to just hear from many people, but I have really never experienced such type of things in my life. And when I heard such things, it feels like that it may be real or something, that everyone is like someone. I have heard stories like this many times, so I'm just thinking that is it real or it is just story that people made. But as Ditesh told story, it was just looking that it was real because two of them were facing it at the same time. So it can't be like imagination. So now after hearing this horrible story, I want to share. I have not, like in the previous class you have given me chance to speak about some experience of my life, so I have shared one of the experience and one of the my life story in my life of my life in previous class. So today I have something I want to share, only some cute and interesting story of my childhood. And that was like I also not like remember that such things has happened, because I was really very small. I was only 1 or 2 years old. My mother and father used to tell me this story, and I really like it. Whenever I used to hear the story that my mother used to tell me, that you have done these things in your childhood, that makes me really happy, and it feels and also emotional also. So I want to share a cute story it's cute and emotional also for me and for my family. Like my mother used to, I want to say that I don't remember at all because I was very small. I was just like 11 months or 1 year old. But my mother used to tell me that, and my father also, and they used to tell me this story with so much proud, like they are so much proud of me by telling this story that I have done that thing in my childhood. So they used to tell me that when I was 11 months old, I was so like I was so mischievous and so naughty that, and I have that I started walking in just 11 months, and I used to grasp things very quickly. Like my mother used to teach me new things daily. So I learn things quickly. My mother used to say this. So one day, when my father used to came from the office very late, like I think my 7 or 7:30 p.m. He used to come from his office. So at that time, I was the first child of my family, and for the 3 years I was given I was alone. So I was so much pampered by my father and mother. Like for 3 years, after 3 years, my brother was born. So that after that, I was not given so much importance, but for that 3 years, I was like everything for my father, for my parents. So what happened that one day, when my father returned from office, my mother was in the house, and I was like waiting for my father in the like on the door. At the door, I was waiting for him. I was playing there. I was only 1 year old, 11 months or 1 year old. I was playing there, and I was not. I haven't. I had not spoken any word before that. I used to not any word before that, and I was just playing in the at the door, waiting for my father when he will come. So he used to tell me that the moment he arrives at the gate, and when I saw him, I just call him Papa. The first time I called him Papa, and like my mother used to was in the kitchen. He just ran out of the kitchen, and my father was really very happy that the first child was saying him, and was waiting for him at the door. And the happiness he get after hearing the first word Papa from any of from the first child, he was really very happy. My mother used to tell me that he got really emotional at that time. He just uh, get me in his lap, was so happy, like he was full of tears at that time. So my mother used to tell me that story, so I just feel very happy. Like my mother and father was so used to love me that it was their they used to say that it was the best moment of my life when I called him Papa, because it was just like he was feeling like the top of the world. He was feeling that he was in the top of the world. He was feeling like that at that time. So he used to tell me. So yes, after hearing it, I don't remember it, but when I used to hear it, it gives me pleasure that yes, that I have done this. Like that gives me pleasure. That gives the pleasure to my family, my parents. So this is one story that I remember. And also there are many stories, like stories or experience that today, like how I'm very, like everyone said that I'm so simple girl, I don't do any, no one believed that I used to be a very mischievous and very naughty girl, and was was like I was not used to sit idle at one place till fifth or sixth class. After that, I become so, like so serious student. No, I was, but before that, I was really mischievous. I used to, like when I used to go to school, I was not so serious about studies. I just used to go to school to play there, to meet my friends, to tell them stories. I used to really make, I still remember, I used to make very bad stories, like I have this, I have that, and I used to do this at my home. So I remember that I was making false stories and used to tell them false stories always, like for fifth or sixth class, until I have no consciousness. I was just like, it is good, I'm just telling them something. So I was used to do these things, and when I recall those things that I was doing that thing at that time, it makes me really feel bad now that I was doing these things at that time. So there were also there are also some incidents like this that I was doing at that time. So yes, but after, like, when I was in fifth or sixth class, when I met my teacher, I have experienced this. I have told this story in one of the my speeches, that when I met my teacher, the teacher which I admire most, like, there's so much role in my life of of my teacher, because the change in my life that has come is because of her. The changes, because I was just once that I was really not serious. I was like very, what to say, a very not so serious type of student I was. No one will tell that what I am and what I was. It was just because of her. So she brought the so much changes in me. So I just appreciate her. At that time she came and she gave me just the what I want to do in my life. She gave me, she just taught me the right way. So yes, these are some experiences, not have some good story or like this, but I have this type of experiences that I want to share. Thank you, sir.
Great. Absolutely enjoyed the experiences and the tales that you told us from your life. Great story. And for a parent to be addressed by the child as papa or mama can be a great feeling. So I can certainly identify, I can certainly place myself in your dad's position and feel what the pleasure he might have had when you called him papa for the first time. So let's see
Yeah.
what your friends are saying. Beautiful story, and you narrated the stories beautifully. So first, uh, well, Seema wrote for Nitesh. Thank you, Nitesh, for the great sharing. I always feel wonderful to listen to your stories. And she has given you a lot of respect and a lot of thumbs up. Nitesh says, thank you, all my dear friends, for your kind appreciation to beautiful smileys. Now, for Pallavi, my team has written very emotional and joyous narrative. Pallavi, I enjoyed listening to your stories a lot. Absolutely agree with my team. The stories was really fantastic, very cute, as you rightly mentioned. The stories are very cute. Now we have two more participants. Uh, Lekha had some issues earlier, it seems, but thankfully that issues are seemingly been taken care of. So Lekha, I would want you to tell us one story from your life, any story, nothing personal, any incident that you can share with us and which you find is interesting. So I'm giving you full screen. Say hello to me, Lekha.
Hello, sir.
Yes, there you are. Go ahead. Your time starts. Please try to complete within 5 minutes. Okay, go ahead. Start.
So I will share a story which happened to me, an incident which happened to me last Wednesday when I returned from the office. Mm, I searched for the key in my bag, but misfortunately I lost the key and I was like so disabled, and that was the bad experience of my life in Delhi because I was so I was feeling so sad, and I started to cry like where will I go now. And because I was new to Delhi and it was late, it was around 7 p.m. So mm, there was like the not so it was not so light, almost darkness everywhere. So I was feeling like where will I go in the night now, and I was crying and I was sitting in my balcony, and I checked for my purse for so many times, like if there may be the key, but that was not there. And I told my owner, the landlord, that I have lost the keys. Then he said that he will bring the key maker in some time, and I waited there for 9 p.m. and I was in my balcony. They said that I should go in their house and I should eat the dinner, but I didn't. I was just so sad that I was not feeling like I can eat anything. I just wanted to open my door, but till 9 p.m. there was nobody, and the landlord said that today it will not be possible to make your door open, so you will have to mm, like you can come to our house to sleep, or you can go to your friends or relatives. So I went to my one of my relatives and I stayed there. And in the morning, in Delhi, the shops are not open very early. They are open at 10 or 11. So, and one thing also happened in the night. I messaged to my official group and said to my senior official that I might not be able to come, as I have lost the keys, and I'm new to Delhi and I don't know how to solve this problem. And my senior officer, I thought they will have mercy on me and they will think like I'm suffering, and they were forcing like you should have done this on your own, and you should have done this with the help of a welder, and this is hardly half an hour task. But the problem was that the lock was inside the gate and the landlord was not allowing me to break it. He was saying that he will do anything, but he was not allowing me to break. So I told this to my senior, but they no one thinks like you are suffering and you are new to Delhi, then we will cooperate. No, you have to come the office. You have to come the office. So uh, I have to stay at my Buaji's, and um, I prepared there for the office. Like if my door is not open, then I will go the office, and after the office, I will return some early. But at 10 a.m., I thought that I should give only one try. Like I will go for searching a key maker, and then I went to there are some Sardarji who break the keys, who break the locks. So I I called him and he came and he just did this 2 times and broke the lock, and he took 300 rupees from me. And my landlord said that he will not allow him to uh, attach a new lock. He will bring that same company lock. So he sent away that Sardarji, and I was feeling like I could have broken it. He just did this and took 300 rupees. And after a lot of time, the landlord, I was sitting in my balcony again, because I thought that this time when this door is open and again locked properly, then I will go to office no matter what. i will uh, I will bear the consequences of my US and my S. So they will say I don't care. Because the only thing in my mind was is that I want to see my house again, because I'm living alone, and this is all for me. What if they can do a little noting on the part of me if I'm not coming there? But that is all for me. Where will I go if I get late? I got late for today on that day. Then where will I stay? I can't stay at my relatives every day. So it took me almost 11:30 at the room, and when the lock was attached properly, and I checked for 3 to 4 times, and I was it took me almost 1800 rupees. 1800 rupees. Just a silly mistake. I lost the key. I don't know uh, where I kept it, but it cost me very like too much costly. It was very, and I was feeling like how how careless I am. That was very bad. And when the lock was placed there properly, and then I left the office, and uh, I left my home and went to office. But I was a little angry with my staff, so I went there in anger, and I didn't even say namaste to them. I sat there, and they knew it that I'm a little angry. And after some time, my SO came to me and asked, "Is everything okay now? Have you done all the formalities?" Then I said yes. And then my US, he was also like trying to ask, but by seeing my angry face, he didn't. He preferred not to say anything. And after mm, he listened my voice, then he asked by saying, "हो गया?" Then I replied in a sarcastic way also. I'm a little mean kind of person. I'm not sweet. Like I will say sweet things if they have done wrong to me. They haven't shown mercy to me. Then I will not also say the same thing. I will behave in the same manner they have behaved to me. So that was a bad experience of my life, but that have taught me so many things. Now I check the key every time when I keep it in my bag, and when I'm coming from the office, then I check that is this place in my bag, or else should I again have to suffer that night again. So this is a kind of experience I have faced in my life. Thank you, sir.
Well, Lekha, ask your co-trainees. Don't ask me. Ask them if you are cute. You will get the answer. Okay. And by the way, you have friends in this city, and you also have a best friend, right? So all
Yes.
the friends and the supposed best friend are all available to help you when you need any support. Feel free to call Nitesh, to call Seema, to call Pallavi, to call Manisha, and call your teacher, right? The one you call your best friend. And all of us
Yes,
will
sir.
be more than willing to help you, my dear. You shouldn't have been suffering so much. And the cutest part of your story was that Sardarji coming and doing tuk tuk on the on the rock. I'll not forget that. Right. And you're thinking that, oh my goodness, I also could have done tuk tuk and I could have broken it. Okay, so that's a beautiful thing that you said. So great. And then the 1800 rupees you spend thereafter, which makes it a total of 2100, 2100. Okay, but beautifully and a very cute experience. Thank you for sharing that experience. You overshot, but we enjoyed the experience like anything. So let's see what your friends are having to say. Well, here are some stories. Okay, 1 second. Okay. Seema has a message for Pallavi. Seema says, such beautiful, vulnerable, beautiful feelings. You have shared, Pallavi. Great experience to listen to you, my dear. And then she has sent you a lot many thumbs up and beautiful hearts, a lot of love to you. Manisha says it was emotional. It was an emotional story, Pallavi. Let me tell you, you are still everything for your parents without a trace of doubt. Of course, you are, as you keep making them proud every single day. You are the best daughter one can ever have in the directorial sign. Without a trace of doubt, I agree. You are also making a house in Prayagraj, right? The house that all the family members from here are going to invade someday. Okay. You are the best daughter one can have. Okay, this I've already read. I admire your simplicity, but would also love to see you doing some mischievous acts as well. Oh my goodness. Okay, she wants to see your naughty self as well. It's hard to believe that you have been naughty. Okay, so beautiful message by Manisha. And Pallavi, you deserve all the credit, all the wonderful praises that are coming your way. Nitesh says, Pallavi, thank you for sharing how you were an active and mischievous kid. Your story was so beautiful. For every father, it's an ecstatic experience to hear Papa from his child. Absolutely, indeed. You narrated your story with clarity and confidence. It's always great to listen to you, Pallavi. Indeed, the parents, it's a great feeling for the father or the mother to be addressed as Baba or Ma or Dad or whatever for the first time. That's a great feeling. Okay. Seema then says, totally agree with Manisha. Children are always everything for parents, and it's such a great blessing on earth for all of us. And a lot of thumbs up and hearts for you. Indeed, parents' love can be likened to infinity, right? You take away as much as you want from there, and still infinity will be left. Add a little more to that, and still infinity it will be. So, infinity doesn't change. So, Pallavi, absolutely, you are such a great daughter. In fact, I completely agree with Manisha that you are the best daughter on earth. Okay. All right. Moving on. So Pallavi says for Nitesh, Pallavi says, wonderful Nitesh, two beautiful smileys. The way you shared the experience and the horrible stories, horror stories that is, with so much ease, like it was nothing for you. But here I was getting goosebumps, right? And again, to uh, smileys, but these smileys are actually not, they are beautiful, yes, they're cute, yes, but they're representing horror, they're representing fear. Really frightening stories, Nitesh. Thank you so much, everyone. And she has given beautiful sweeties. It really means a lot because she has been appreciated. This is what Pallavi says in response to the beautiful messages she has received from her friends. Seema says, I think we all learned from your story that how small things become bigger. Thanks, dear Lekha, for this interesting sharing, for Lekha's beautiful story. This is Seema's comment. Lots of thumbs up, lots of claps. Padmini, that is my team member, says, Lekha, it must be an unforgettable experience of yours. Great listen uh, to your cute experiences. Completely agree. Very cute experience indeed. Manisha writes, you are truly a genuine and a cute soul, Lekha. A lot of love from Manisha's side to you. You shared your story so candidly that all of us were hooked to the screen. You are not a mean person and a careless person. We humans tend to make mistakes, and it doesn't make you careless in any way. I can't even imagine that you are mean. You are an amazing human being. Again, a lot of love for you. Keep smiling. Of course, I certainly Manisha couldn't have been more correct. Absolutely correct, Lekha. You are indeed an amazing person, a very, very cute person indeed. Nitesh says, thank you, Pallavi, for getting frightened by my stories. Okay. He has been able to generate the horror that he wanted to. So that horrific effect that he wanted to generate, he has been able to do that successfully. So he's thanking you. Okay. And Seema says, yes, Lekha, don't feel hesitant to call anytime. We are all available for you, dear. Don't feel alone. And a lot of thumbs up and love for you. So, Lekha, remember your family, of course, family can be extended, right? You have your kith and kin, but we are also like a family. We are all like a family, right? Remember us whenever you need us. Each one of us would be ready to help you anytime, right? I can speak on behalf of everyone over here that if any of us is in trouble and one calls up some other person for help, the other person would rather be honored to extend the help to the person who needs the support. So do not hesitate. Please call up any of us. Right? Okay. Then Lekha says, thanks, dear, and two beautiful smileys. Nitesh writes, Lekha, thank you for sharing your experience. You really enjoyed your narration. Don't forget your friends when you are in some trouble. We are here to help. Also, as always, your narration was amazing with your great sense of humor. Absolutely. So that tuk tuk, I'll never be able to forget. Okay, Sardarji coming and doing the tuk tuk. That is the takeaway. My goodness. And also you're thinking that you could have done the same tuk tuk. So that is so beautifully explained, right? Narrated. Pallavi, really very cute, Lekha. Two beautiful smileys for you. You shared such a bad experience with us with the smiling face. I can imagine how tough a situation it would have been for you at that time because you were alone at the time. But never feel that you are alone. We are all with you. Two beautiful smileys. You are such a great person, my dear. Well said, Pallavi. Agreed with you. Lekha says, yes, thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Okay, we are left with another experience sharing, and this is going to be none other than Manisha. Manisha, I'm giving you full screen. Say hello to me.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Manisha. Try to wrap up the story within 5 minutes, okay? If you can. If you overshoot, I'll not stop you. So go ahead, Manisha, because everybody has overshot. Everybody has overshot. They enjoyed narrating the story. their respective stories, and we enjoyed listening to them. So everybody overshot, doesn't make a difference even if you overshoot. Try to make it compact. Okay, here we go. But no restrictions, no impositions on you. Go ahead. Okay, start, Manisha.
I'll try. So first of all, just don't think that I'm being childish. This is for everyone. So this is an incident which happened with me when I gave examination of my class 12, and after that I went for a Haridwar trip. I think I've already mentioned it in some audio that there I was drowned. So I will tell you the whole incident. So what happened that I went on a Haridwar trip, and unfortunately my parents were not there with me. I went with my grandfather. So what happened that in Haridwar, if you have ever gone, then you must have seen that there is some specific ghat where all of the people they go and they bath at that particular place. But all of the women who were with me, they all chose that they won't bath at that place and they will go to some far distance. So I was walking with all of them, and suddenly my cousin, she was walking with me, and she asked that Didi, why are we going to that place, that why cannot we bath at this place where all of the people are there? So I told her that we are just going there for drowning, we are not going there for bathing. I genuinely told it very casually, and I did not to feel at that moment, I did not have any idea that it would come out to be true. And then when I went there, and suddenly my leg slipped and I was drowned. And I was saved by some divine soul. I can say this. So with this story, I would like to mention that when I was child, I always used to pray God that please God grant me this thing, please grant this wish of mine, and I was very greedy, and I still am. I accept this. So I used to do this. Please God give me this thing. Please God give me this thing. But uh, after this incident, I got to know that there is universe around you which is constantly listening you. So you should always be very aware that what you say and whatever you do. And in Alchemist, when I read that book, and as Shah Rukh Khan says, if I am allowed to use some Hindi, so he says that जिस चीज को पूरी कायनात शिद्दत से चाहो पूरी कायनात उसे तुमसे मिलाने की साजिश में लग जाती है. So this dialogue was taken from Alchemist, and it goes that if you aspire to get something, then whole universe conspires you to achieve it, makes you achieve it. Then so with this thing, my faith in God, it increased. And I still feel that whenever I'm doing something wrong, or I feel that I'm not doing enough, or I'm doing some kind of cheating, then I feel that that incident happened with me because the universe was there, he was listening me. And so now whenever I feel that I'm doing something wrong, I think about this incident, that if I'll be doing something wrong, then something wrong will happen to me. So because of this thing, I avoid doing things which I find wrong. So I think this is the incident which make me believe more in God, and increased my faith in God. So yes, thank you.
Okay, you completed before time, and indeed a very, I wouldn't say interesting, very frightening experience, because what you said really um, is very interesting in the sense that you talk about the importance of choosing your words when you speak, because the universe kind of listens to you and sometimes makes arrangements or arranges circumstances in a manner that might make your saying come true. So that way, it's very interesting, but at the same time, extremely what you call horrific, because the fact that were almost, you were almost drowned. You almost drowned. That itself is a very frightening thing to hear. And the divine soul that saved your life, may all the Lord's grace be on him or her. And I'm sure that that was a new that was a new beginning for you. As you said, from then on, your trust, your faith in God has gone up, has become multifold. So that's quite understandable. So beautiful stories by each one of you, and I'll just see what more messages I have got. All right. So my team says, wonderful story, Manisha. I loved it. There is one message from Nitesh for Manisha. Manisha, thank you for sharing the frightening experience you had. I liked what you learned by that experience. And as always, great narration. Completely agree. Manisha has thanked everybody. And Seema writes, such a practical and frightening experience you shared, Manisha, which I think it increased everybody's belief in that superpower, or we can say the positive energy. Thanks for the great sharing, and a lot of claps and thumbs up and love for you. Pallavi says, wonderful, dear Manisha. Your story was really inspiring, and somewhat the things you said, I also agree with that. The way you shared the experience by giving some beautiful quotes, it just shows that you are such a great speaker. Lot of love, lot of beautiful smileys for you, right? Thank you so much. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next session with the next part of Essential English Grammar and demonstrations of spontaneous speech exercises. Thank you. This has been a great session, and I'm sure you'll catch up with this one on YouTube. Take care. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
Thank you, sir.
much.
Good
Thank
night.
Good
you.
night,
Take care.
sir.
Good
Thank
night,
you.
sir.
Thank you. Good night.